morning, Devils fans. Happy Christmas Eve as the Devils defeated the Detroit Red Wings last night with the score of 3-2 in regulation at home. All amazing things. Timo Meier pops off with 2 goals. Toffoli gets a goal after his little bit of a slump. Seems like Timo is completely back. Vitek had a fairly solid game. And all in all, everything except for the power play actually converting, even though it had amazing chances, looked quite good. So let's go ahead and dive into that. It is Sunday. It is a Christmas Eve. Gonna make this one pretty quick. So wasn't the best of starts. We did give up the opening goal once again. League leading in that. Decent enough play out of Detroit, causing some confusion. Very beautiful passing. DeBrincat over to Kane. Guys, I have in 2 different fantasy leagues, so by the end of the game, it wasn't the worst goal to give up as far as I'm concerned, as it did help in my matchups. But anywho, Kane was left all alone on the back door. Very, very easy goal for basically anyone, unless you're Sprong, I guess, whoever missed that one goal in the third. But Kane does not miss from there. Makes it 1-0. Yes, that is probably mostly entirely on Nemec, which 19-year-old defenseman plays the rest of the game very well. 11 games into his NHL career now. Not going to rip a guy apart for just not necessarily losing his guy, but sticking to the puck carrier longer than he should. If you don't remember, basically, the Detroit Red Wings player was down. Nemec was covering him very well below the dots. He circles up along the boards and then basically gets triple teamed with a combination of Bratt and I think it might have been Nico, although I'm not positive who the center was for that particular play. But I know Nemec and Bratt were on top of him with a third Devil. This let Kane slide below, but the puck goes cross ice to DeBrincat, who then taps it over to the wide open Kane for the goal. So basically twofold there. Is Nemec supposed to peel off the guy that he has been covering and sticking to and follow the player that went down deep? Probably, likely, that's why I do put most of the blame on him. Or should Bratt realize that Nemec has this guy who is coming up top and cycled down to cover Kane who went down low? Probably not. Again, that probably should be Nemec peeling off and letting Bratt take over on the more zone coverage that we're playing there. And then Nemec sliding down, actually playing the defenseman position. But as we know, Nemec is chaos. He's going to be all over the ice. He sticks to his guy when he probably shouldn't. Triple team. Bang, bang, passing play, which was a beautiful passing play, and they score the goal. Absolutely nothing Vitek can do there. You got to play the shot, especially it being DeBrincat. And there was a guy net front as well that was covered by the other defenseman. It's a terrible, you don't like giving up the first goal, especially when you're leading the league in that area. But hey, it happens, and it's 1-0. Later on into the period, the line that had been buzzing all night with Michael McLeod, Dawson Mercer, and the one Timo Meier, who looked like the best player on the ice throughout the night. Probably right there with Mikey, who if Michael McLeod had a scoring touch, he would probably be worth his draft position finally. Because my gosh, when he is out there wheeling and dealing right now, he legitimately looks like one of the better players in the NHL, at least as far as carrying and handling the puck within the zone. He's just has looked phenomenal all season in doing so. And I think him with Timo is quite the duo there. Personally, I might switch it up with Mercer. I think he did well there, but I don't think he absolutely stuck out on that line that all three of those guys have to stick. And we know Holtz has done well with Mikey before, but after a win like that, you're probably not really going to switch up the lines too much, and I'm not really going to argue against that. But yeah, it was a great play. Mikey gets the drives to the net. Absolute chaos ensues. There's a nice rebound. And Timo puts the puck in a fairly open net, but through traffic and chaos. That's the second goal in 2 games for Timo. His game was looking fantastic. He was throwing hits all night, one big one in particular. It was really just a carryover from the Oilers game where I said I thought he looked really, really good. From there, we get into the second period. Red Wings, again, do end up taking the lead off of the Gostisbehere goal. Now, Timo's line was out on the ice for this one. Pretty much gassed by the end of it. It was talked about at length by Dano on the broadcast, where Marino has to have a better pass to Timo, whether that was just a bad read, like Dano said, on the strides Timo was taking, or Timo read the pass wrong, or whatever. But it's mostly on Marino to get that pass into Timo's stick so he can get the breakout play. Instead, puck deflects off of Timo, trying to reach out, just barely not being able to get it. Detroit picks up the puck right there in the neutral zone and is able to very quickly transition back into the O zone. gets the cycle going, and off of a very weird um, deflection, basically a shot into one of our players deflects, and then sits perfectly for Gostisbehere to put it in. Also, I don't really put that on VTech. A weird bounce off of a shot, you got to play the shot initially. The pass deflects off of one of your own players in front and lands perfectly for a defenseman walking in, and all the defensemen to be Gostisbehere. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Again, don't really put that on VTech. I also don't really hate the in zone defending after the fact. I thought they actually played that pretty well as in particular. Again, even being a bit gassed, but it's the initial pass, the breakout attempt, where the mistake did happen and led to that goal. But again, don't really hate either of those goals from in zone defense or the goaltending perspective. Now, we did end up tying the game off of what looked at first to be maybe a Mikey tap in, being net front as he has been living. But nope, it is a Timo shot. Not a great save by their goaltender, but that's kind of what you need for a guy playing in his first NHL game this season. Not going to be the most sound in net. Get the pucks to net. Timo does just that. Second goal, 3 goals in 2 games. Again, I thought he was probably the best player on the ice. He was dynamic in basically every single shift. Throwing the body, using his weight, power forward, skating well. All the things that we expected and wanted out of Timo to start the year. Seems to be maybe getting over that hump of the injury. Last game versus the Oilers being a bit of a confidence boost. Carrying that through here. Hopefully a 3-day complete break. No practice, no nothing. He can be feeling real great. And if we can get all of our top flight guys firing on all cylinders, that'd be great because, yes, the Nico line was a bit quieter. I know some people were very confused about Lazar being there, but he was hard matched against the Larkin, DeBrincat, Kane line. They did a great job shutting that line down, obviously, except for that first goal, which really wasn't on them too much. And if they even had scoring chances themselves. Now, it wasn't anything crazy. Nico had a very nice pass to Lazar right at the net front. Almost had a stuff-in goal. Didn't quite go in. Good save. But if that line is there to shut down the other team's top line and it's going to pitch in offensively every now and again, and even when the Jack line isn't firing all cylinders, even though they did get the game-winning goal, great wheel and deal from Bratt going, winding back up off of a pass from Jack, up to the blue line, shot through, beautiful deflection from Toffoli, and that's just a great goal as well from what is supposed to be your offensively driven line. But they weren't really taking over the game outside of the power play. At 5-on-5, I didn't think they had any super dynamic moments outside of the goal itself. And so when the top 6 there of the Nico and Jack lines aren't really putting the offense on their backs, when you split those two up from Timo, which I saw some people arguing, kind of like we did in playoffs, the 3 big play driving guns in Nico, Jack, and Timo being on 3 different lines, so you just have scoring threats basically throughout the entire lineup. Last night was the pure example of why that works. Jack's line isn't firing on all cylinders, but still doing its thing, not scoring. They got the game winner. That's fine. Nico's line shutting down the other line, and they're net neutral. That's fine. Timo's line's got to take over, and that's what it did in this one. So that is prime example of why those 3 could be split up. Although by the end of the year, I'm still probably going to advocate for Timo in the top 6. Special teams. I said it in the month of December. Our penalty kill has been like actual elite status. Continued there in this game. You love to see that. A big part of that was VTech. He made multiple saves. Even had a shorthanded save that kept us in it. I thought VTech actually had one of his better games. Now, the gold save above expected was not kind to him in this one, but I still think he did quite well. Even that being said, it was really close to being tied. They hit a post. The post over to Perron or Sprung, I forget. I think Perron. One of them shot, one of them missed. But then misses the wide open net. VTech did kind of get over, so maybe by a miracle he makes that save. But much better off that guy just missing the net and it not even being all that close. So that was really the game. Our power play looked really good, just never cashed in. There are so many chances to score, so many opportunities, so much setup, lots of shots on net, just no goals. So all in all, great top to finish effort. We had the 1 defensive lap from your rookie offensive defenseman in Nemec, who is going to grow into a fantastic player. You take those. The other one, a bad pass, but you still played it mostly well. The guy gets a good bounce and a great shot. 2 goals against, you got to be able to outplay that, and we did. With the offense we have, you can give up 2 goals and score more to win games. That's Devils hockey really last night. I think that's the kind of game we should expect and should want most nights in and out. Power play converts on just 1 or 2 of those, which they very easily could have. The game looks a lot more one-sided than it was, even just taking into account shot counts and all that. Yeah, very happy with the boys. Feeling good heading into this holiday break here. I will have a quick video tomorrow just wishing a Merry Christmas and maybe talking about a few things. We'll see. But going to go ahead and call it here. Go enjoy some family. We're having Christmas Eve with family today. Christmas Day with our two kids, just me and the wife and the kids. So going to be a good one. It's going to be a first Christmas not traveling in forever, my entire life, just staying home on Christmas Day. So going to enjoy it. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for a quick one. As always and forever, let's go down.